Part 3, chapters 21 and 22 of Never Let Me Go, I decided to chunk together because a lot of what's happening is really a timeline in chapter 21 and 22 because we see Kathy and Tommy go to Madame asking for a deferral, and that kind of plays out in chapter 22 as well. Um, so, kind of backtracking a little bit with this whole cloning process, we know the fate of Kathy is decided. We know the fate of every human on Earth is decided. Um, but I think Ishiguro is trying to give a little bit more meaning to Kathy's role as a carer and as a donor. Um, and I kind of put this reflection down here. We all kind of act like Kathy and her friends. We'll talk about serious things, we'll talk about not so serious things. Um, but how often do we think about the end of our life or about death? Um, and I think this novel's a good representation of that. So as Kathy and Tommy go to Madame and Miss Emily's home, they discover that this does not even exist. It was made up by the students just as some sort of hope that there would be a deferral for them, some time for themselves. I was upset with this ending. I was rooting for Kathy and Tommy, and I think all of us wanted them to have this um, great connection, this great relationship, and I was heartbroken for them. I was hoping that their reconnection, as Kathy becomes Tommy's carer, they can live out happily ever after, and it would be a happy ending. But that's not what happens, right? They end their meeting with Miss Emily and Madame, and Tommy still seems a little unsure of the truth he had been told. Um, and I think he needed that final clarification that there was truly not a deferral available for them. Miss Emily definitely sealed the fate of that when she informed them, "There's no truth in the rumor. I'm sorry. I truly am." Um, and I think hearing that line really kind of solidified what we thought about the deferral process and how that worked. And if you look at the end of chapter 22 on page 266, Miss Emily adds that, "Tommy, there's nothing like that. Your life must now run the course that it's been set for it." And I think that is a point where Ishiguro was trying to tell the reader that you can't intervene with your fate. It has been predetermined for you. There are a few things that you have control over in your life. The main path has been set out for you to really walk upon. But Tommy's fate has been sealed since his days as a student at Helsham. He was destined to be a donor, to follow through this task until he completed it. Kathy's path was to be a carer. She's kind hearted, wants the best for people. I think these qualities helped to make her the best carer that she was. However, their fate as a couple was definitely doomed from the beginning. But they were destined to cross paths again, to reconnect and share their memories, but they weren't meant to be together forever. And I think it must be hard for the Guardians to express this to them. Um, but Miss Emily is just relaying to them the lie of the deferral process, and their reactions let them know that they weren't meant to be together. It's almost like Tommy knew this and he accepted that.